anti-DEI Oreo cookie party featuring piles and piles of processed, shelf-stable white cream.
But Oreos are black and white.
Well, not at the Heritage Foundation.
Are they just white
Anti-DEI.
wafers? Yeah,
No, just
white
big
wafers
piles
on
of
white
white
cream.
shelf-stable frosting. It's an all-new, terrific Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined by analyst hole Matt Moscardi. On today's CEO-scented compensation committee called March 24th, 2026, the bad game. Boo.
Oh, wah wah.
Look, for those of you, if anyone's new to this show, or if anyone's even listening, or maybe you listen all the time but you just don't pay attention, here's how Tuesday works. We have a revolving set of idiotic games we play, like the bad game, the good game, the who do you blame game, biz nuggets, quizzes. We all, things to keep you awake. That's what we call it. Things to keep you awake.
I mean, it's packed full of real information.
Real information.
So you say idiotic,
Fact-based
but it's
snark.
real.
Actual research, data. We go to the filings. We do it all.
I mean, one of us does it all. I just showed up.
Speaking of which, Matt is what are you, our chief arbiter of truth?
Is that a thing?
Yes. So what Matt does is he listens to the headlines. I pick headlines that feel doomy and gloomy. That's how the bad game works.
So all of them.
It's easy. The good game is a
these
struggle.
days.
The bad game is really easy for me, or I'm sorry, our staff of 18 writers and researchers like the Daily Show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have 18. I think we have 19 now, actually.
Did
we just
bring
hired
in a
Dave.
new one?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got
Chappelle?
Dave. Before we get to the show, our show today is being sponsored by FreeFlow Analytics and FreeFlowAnalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power connections and performance for free.
Can I tell you something I saw on FreeFlow Analytics
guess.
data? The back data?
Go ahead.
They just added data on first of all, they have like TSR and earnings, and there's FreeFlowAnalytics.com has a bunch of data that's already free. I just saw back data that did realized pay ascribed to each individual director, so you can see which director has paid the most to any CEO. And
That's on the platform?
it's not on the platform. It's part of like the back data. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to get to the platform, or I don't know if they give that to just clients, but it was shocking. The numbers are shocking. And obviously Elon Musk's board is, near the top, but some of the other numbers are just like people who've been on boards for a while and just pay like $50 million at a time to a CEO. And great data.
I like it. How do they get access to that data? I don't know who they is, but how would they get access?
To our one listener, you call FreeFlow Analytics or send them an email. Probably, maybe text them or WhatsApp them, or maybe swipe right on Tinder. I don't know. What do the kids do now?
That sounds boring. All right, let's get to the bad game. Here's how the bad game works. I pick gloomy and doomy headlines, and our arbiter of truth tells me on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 to 10, whether it's actually bad or not, I suppose, right? Are you drinking a 800-ounce beverage of caffeinated
it's
cream or whatever?
It's a homemade iced coffee, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be shot out of a cannon for today's show.
You got to give me 10 minutes.
Do we have music for this show? I thought we had like a kind of a gloomy Halloween music, but it's up to the producers.
I'll ask the producers what they've got. I'm sure they have something. Do you want like some intense game show music?
Yeah, there it is. There it is. All right, let's start. I got 10 bad game headlines, and we'll end with a speed round, okay? First one. Trump despises wind farms so much, he's paying a French energy giant $1 billion to stop building them and invest in natural gas instead.
This is nuts.
Right? I mean, that doesn't... How is that even allowed? I mean, that's Total Energies out of France will instead invest in the development of oil and gas production in the U.S. The Trump administration paying them because he calls them windmills. He hates windmills, even though it has nothing to do with windmills. I don't really understand I guess he's just an old doddering fool. But
Is there any precedent for that? Has any
No.
government ever gone to a company and been like, if you don't do something for us, we're going to give you $1 billion just to do something that's worse for us?
That's why I don't understand this new age of like fake. I don't even know what kind of capitalism this is, and this like fake anti-ESG where people who hate ESG are doing ESG things at shareholder meetings. I don't know why investors don't realize this is the time to like just let it all hang out, like fight back, just go crazy. Make your voting policies more extreme. Just go for it. They're just making stuff up as they go along.
I mean, it's like it feels worse than that, right? Like if you are isn't this the equivalent of like the Trump administration saying to like the makers of every GLP-1, we'll give you $1 billion not to make us thinner, or like I don't understand I don't even understand. This is not only is an anti-free market, I don't understand the impetus at all. And frankly, if you're Total Energies,
Yeah.
don't you just say, we'll take your $1 billion, but if somebody comes to us and wants to build a wind farm, we're going to build the fucking wind farm.
I mean, but you don't understand the impetus. I mean, isn't that what the wars in the Middle East are all about too? It's all helping the profits of the energy companies in the Texas, is it not?
I get, but
Handout to his buddies.
Is there like they said they have to invest in natural gas? Did they say like we are going to invest $20 in natural gas? Can they just get a guy named Gus to go out behind his yard and dig a hole and be like, well, there's none here, and
Here's
call
my
it
problem.
an investment?
Here's my problem. It's all fine that the Trump administration has a lot of friends in Texas, energy companies. Why can't they make a friend with renewable companies? Why can't they make friends there? Why are there only friends at the energy companies in Texas?
I don't know.
All right, come on, give me a score.
I
How
hate
bad is
this, but it's not so much that it's bad as it's nuts. And also, Total Energies, I know the capitalist play is someone's going to give
Take
us
the
$1 billion
cash.
to just like do some stuff that like we kind of do in places anyway. But why are you signing up to not build something that makes you money? I don't understand. Just because Trump doesn't like it, is the board at some point going to say, hey, we're happy to take $1 billion to invest in natural gas, but we are not going to stop building wind farms for clients that want fucking wind farms?
Total Energies is an interesting example of these European. So a lot of European countries have women on boards mandates, right? France being one of them. 40% of the board must be women. We've talked a lot about in the past that the data shows that through the influence data at Free Flow Analytics would show that yes, 40% of the board is made up of female directors, but they have absolutely no power, absolutely no voice. And Total Energies is one of the worst, actually. The top 5 board members are all men, and they control 64% of the influence. They have a minus 19% female diversity power gap. So, this is one of the worst bro-heavy kind of French boards. So maybe it's not a surprise that they would pull something like this.
But their
anyway.
carbon performance is, as a board, is one of the best.
Yes.
And if you are an investor and you are saying, 10 years from now, we may not have a planet if we're not good at stuff like carbon, don't you say, isn't this bad for like the performance that we're looking for? I don't know. The whole thing seems nuts to me. It seems pretty nuts to me.
All right, give me a score.
I'm going to give this a 7 for badness.
Okay, next headline. Larry Fink says today's economic anxiety stems from people increasingly feeling like capitalism isn't working for them.
Thanks, Larry.
He's
Nailed
also
it.
warning that the AI boom could widen wealth divide without broader participation. And let's not forget that we're less than 7 years removed from the Business Roundtable's infamous statement on the purpose of a corporation. Now, I was doing some research on that proclamation yesterday. trying to figure out when did it go away, and the reality is that the
It's still
statement,
there, isn't it?
yes, it's still there, but they completely ignore it. So Larry, I mean, you already have, just polish up that fake turd of a promise and let's get going, right? Let's start to pay attention to stakeholders, not just shareholders.
Um, I like the fact that a guy whose like primary job, like they are walking around talking about like what they invest in all the time, and they're investing in AI heavily themselves, and they're worried that capitalism isn't working for you. They don't vote against a single CEO pay. They don't vote against them on the board. They don't vote against boards. They don't really vote against anything at all. That's the guy who's
Yeah.
out at a conference saying that people are anxious because capitalism doesn't work for them.
This guy is such an
What a
important. He's like such an important. He is like the CEO of capitalism. So much that both the right and the left use him as like a villain, right? He is the guy. So you'd think he'd have a little say in the matter here.
That just sounds like a tone deaf asshole being like, you know, people are really nervous and they don't think capitalism works for them, and I don't know where they'd get that idea, except
What-
that I'm the guy who gives them capitalism.
Give me a
Like, I
score there.
wouldn't- this is just asinine. I'm gonna give it a 5 because it's not bad. It's just asinine.
Well, if he's the one saying it, then we clearly know that I think we can extrapolate that capitalism is not working for people, right? If he's hinting
If he
at
said
it
it,
might not be.
if he said it,
yes.
yeah, he's the guy. Yeah.
Our next headline: Google CEO Sundar Pichai says AI could do his job, and Mark Zuckerberg is already testing it. So I don't understand this. They're calling this a fundamental shift in executive power in Silicon Valley, where leaders are preparing for a future where AI manages the C-suite. What the
Okay.
hell? What the hell is going on here?
Well, here's why Sundar Pichai would be nervous about it, and Zuckerberg would not, because nothing about what they're doing changes ownership. Zuckerberg
Certainly
is
not at Meta.
still a dual-class dictator. He still
Yeah.
has full control, and if he
So
has
he can
AI,
play around. He can
if
fool
he has
around.
AI replace himself, what does he give a fuck? He still
In
gets
fact,
paid.
In fact, theoretically, he could come up with some asinine concept called the metaverse. Theoretically, right?
I mean, in some
and then
weird,
blow
yeah.
$80 billion on it because it's stupid and it sucks, and he could still keep his job theoretically, right? I mean,
Theoretically,
he would never do
could-
that.
He could make a video game no one wants to play where he doesn't have legs, spend $80 billion on it, and then quit.
He could even ravage the brains of adolescents, especially girls across the globe, and still keep his job, right?
I mean, he could
Theoretically.
foment revolution and overturn democracy, and nothing would happen to him.
No.
Look, I like this story. I actually think I like this story because it undresses something that is very, very real. Our AI man baby tech lords keep telling us constantly that great abundance is going to come from AI. No one has to work. You're going to have
Which
free
I still
money.
don't see that as a good thing, but yeah.
What they're saying all this stuff. What they really mean is we own everything. We own the companies. We have dual class shares. We don't have to work.
We build the robots.
We built everything, and
We
don't have to
colonize
work.
space.
You, however, are going to be busy somewhere digging a ditch to find like rodent remains to eat because that's your problem, right? Like, isn't that what unfettered, unregulated
now you're scaring
man
me.
babies are?
Yeah.
Like, I like this because it makes that more obvious. Sundar Pichai does not have dual class shares. Sergey and Larry do. He'd be worried that AI would take his job because he's fireable. Mark Zuckerberg is testing it because he doesn't give a fuck because he got 51% of the voting shares and he's staying. He's not going anywhere. I like it. I'm going to give it a 3. I like it.
I mean, how about this, Zuck testing a 3? You said? That's
yeah,
it?
3. Yeah.
Zuck testing a digital aid to streamline billion-dollar decisions. I mean, What are we
I mean,
doing?
but
What's
but what
happening? All right,
is
let's
that
move
different
on.
from him like going on Joe Rogan and making $1 billion? Didn't
I
he
guess
like
not. I
go
guess
to the
not.
Trump dinner and Trump was like, "How much are you investing?" And he made up a number on the spot at the dinner next to Trump because he wasn't expecting the question. Like there's him on tape saying like, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to ask me. I didn't have anything ready," and like. And he just made up a number. It's the fucking same thing.
Well, yeah.
It's actually arguably better.
Look, you're arguing a good point that he's not touched by the democracy of shareholders there at his like fake public company, hiding behind his little dual class shares because he's a baby. But let's be honest, even if it was a single class share company, the investors wouldn't vote against them. Investors don't vote against anyone.
That goes back to Larry, right? Like, and if Larry Fink, if you think that people think capitalism doesn't work for them, imagine a situation in which a federal election, like you controlled their votes and you voted entirely with incumbents every single time, no matter what they did. That is exactly what the reason why capitalism doesn't work for people is because Zuckerberg exists with dual class shares and Larry Fink doesn't give a fuck as long as the stock goes up. That's why capitalism doesn't work. Like there's no accountability. So
Speaking of accountability, let's move on. Remember Kathy Rumler, the general counsel at Goldman Sachs?
The Epstein lady, yeah.
Yeah, she called Uncle Jeffrey Sweetie or something.
Hefe, yeah.
Long after he was arrested. So this is not like she didn't know. Goldman Sachs general counsel Kathy Rumler leaves with $25 million payout after Epstein files exposed years of intimate contact. How about that? That's a nice walk away. $25 million. Is that accountability? Yeah.
That's what Well, I just like their 8K. That was like Kathy Rumler has
nothing
left
happened.
Goldman
Nothing
Sachs.
to see here. Yeah. Despite the fact that she's like maybe the greatest, smartest person in the history of mankind, we're just fired. She's leaving. We don't know why she's firing. Don't worry about it.
We're not firing her. She's leaving Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, I don't know where she's taking the D train. Yeah.
It's a 5. I don't.
Okay, let's move on.
Care.
Here's the headline: Trust the founder.
No.
Grabs
10. It's horrible.
There's a ride-hailing company called Grab. Grab's super voting share proposal raises governance questions for investors. So they have an extraordinary general meeting coming up today, actually, to double the votes attached to its super voting Class B shares. I mean, does this not?
What's the point?
Is the corporate world now like a game of like shoots and ladders? Like what? Listen to that. Double the votes attached to its super voting class. I mean, it's like made up. What a bunch of nonsense. This could lift Tan's, that's the founder, Tan's voting power to as much as 75%, up from the 59% that he already has. I mean, this is just nuts.
Here's the good news.
Yeah.
He has, according to Free Float data, he has 79% influence on the board.
Right.
Imagine
he
could get to 81% influence.
That's Anthony Tan. Look, this is the thing I love. One of the things I love most about the data at Free Float Analytics is that it has a way of counting power and influence that no other data provider does. How about that? It nailed that figure almost exactly, right? I mean, because I think this doubling his voting shares is really more to the point of how much power he really has, right? He doesn't have 59% of the power at that company. He has like basically all of the power at that company. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think about that one?
What I think is that a company named Grab doesn't see the irony in any of this. Not only that, like, isn't ride hailing like a 20% chance if you're a woman you're going to get sexually harassed? Like everything about the name is just horrible. Like
actually, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Grab.
Grab. I'm going to grab
name.
The shares.
It's a very
I'm going to grab
name,
the money. I'm going to grab some ass. Everyone wins.
Well, there
it's
was
the most manly thing I've ever heard.
Is that not the infamous quote that from Donald Trump before he somehow won his first election? But didn't he grab the blank?
Grab pussy. Yeah. That's what he said. This is honestly, I don't know what matters. Like he already owns all the votes. So doubling the vote is already, he just doubles the vote himself, right? He's got the voting shares to double the vote. It's not like minority shareholders have a say.
Maybe he's going to bring in new investors and he wants to make sure he maintains power. I have no idea.
What's bad about this is if someone else looks at it, like Zuckerberg says, I've got 52%.
Of course they're going to look at it. What are you
right?
talking about?
If Zuckerberg says only got 52% of the vote, and then like tomorrow, Dana White on Zuckerberg's board says, "Dude, you should have like 50x per vote because you're a genius," and then they wrestle. Like, I feel like that's worse.
What's the score?
I'm gonna give this a 6 because this
At a
isn't
minimum,
bad, but it could
at
be
a
bad
minimum,
later.
all listing exchanges, institutional investors, whoever, retail investors, if there's not a sunset clause on these super voting packages after a company IPOs, call it like whatever.
It's a private
number,
company.
3 years, 5 years, whatever. Vote against everything constantly.
It's a private company.
I
It's
mean,
not a
there
public
there
company.
are mechanisms in place where we can work against this, but
And index
people don't.
providers like Mothership, where we came from, MSCI. I don't care how fucking liquid it is. It's not a
Get it
traded
out. Root it
asset.
out.
Get
Root
it
it
out
out.
of the index.
Because you see what's happening, and it's not just like weirdos like us worrying about. Well, it's also now Larry Fink actually. So Larry Fink and
Larry
we
Fink
agree.
agrees.
So because we spent a lot of time worrying about how capitalism affects normal people and about the AI revolution leaving everyone behind. So the main proponents of that world are people hiding behind dual class shares. It's really that simple. So
it's not
okay.
complicated. It's not complicated.
Next headline: child labor violations rise in U.S. as Republicans still roll back protections. This is happening a lot, and I didn't realize that this was one of the things outlined in Project 2025. The Heritage Foundation, that their blueprint for our horrible dystopia, was to roll back child labor protections at the state level. Since 2021, 30 states, 30, have proposed legislation that would roll back child labor protections and regulations. 17 have already enacted them. And I point this out because Heritage Foundation is also, so far in 2026, in the top 10 of the most frequent proponents behind shareholder proposals. They're also active in that game. So I mean, this is too much for me. I'm sorry.
Every shareholder proposal is an anti-woke, super conservative.
Except for except for like McRitchie and Chevenin up at the top. It's basically
they're not at the
conservative
top
groups.
anymore.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Because Chevedden has been summarily excluded by the SEC.
well maybe okay. I should
the
say
one
at
they
the
actively
top of
respond to.
submitted proposals, but I didn't take into account what was excluded.
Yeah, right now, the only thing that's getting through, and I haven't updated the data in a couple of weeks, but as of a couple of weeks ago, the only things that are getting through for the most part are anti-woke proposals. It's a full capitulation. It's every company is just kneeling to the conservative, authoritarian conservative administration at this point. But in terms of this, I know, like Heritage Foundation, I know you're a listener.
Yes.
I know you hate brown people, immigrants, women, gays. I know you hate everybody, right? Like it's you just don't like.
I guess they
people
hate
that
children
much.
too because you go to
No,
work.
what they've done is throw everybody else out of the jobs. Like if you deported every person that you didn't like, and you monitor them, and you don't give any black people the ability to rise up in a company, you basically a concerted effort to keep white men with power. Somebody still has to do the work, and you looked around, you were like, who can do the work? Oh, there's lots of white children. They can do the work. I think is that where we're going? Is that the goal? Because I thought we agreed, I mean, literally 120 years ago, that this was a bad idea. This one's not new. This one's not like DEI in the last 10 years. This one's like 120 years old. Like, stop using children. This one sucks. I'm going to give this a 9. This is I don't understand. It's so fucking heinous. Plus, the AI is going to like take everyone's job. So what? The children are the only one who are going to work? Because what are we doing? What are we doing?
McDonald's needs little fingers for those little fries. Peter Thiel, the next headline.
Oh, it's a 10. Just I don't need anything else. It's just the worst.
This one's weird and bad. Peter Thiel backs $2 billion AI. Ready for this? Cowgorithm.
What's
that lets farmers herd 400,000 cattle with one button. Here's my fear of this one. I'll explain in a little bit. Is that this is clearly a test for all the people who aren't going to be working in the future because they're going to have to figure out a way to corral them. Each cow wears a smart collar Each cow wears a smart collar that connects to a mobile app, giving farmers real-time information about location, health, and behavior. And then, with sound and vibration cues to guide animals, the farmer can herd them and build like these boundaries, these like fences that keep them in, and it just seems like a great test for how to corral humans in the
That's
future.
literally the most dystopian jump I've ever heard in my entire life.
Do you completely disagree with that sentiment?
Well, I didn't think of it until you said it, and now that you said it, I can't unhear it. Now it does seem like herding cows is basic. Like, why would Peter Thiel be interested in herding cows at all?
Well, here's the fear too. Is that well, right? Here's the thing. The projections of population growth across the planet, especially like in Asia and Africa, they're massive, right? I mean, we're not slowing down. Okay, that the population is gonna keep booming, and then all the tech bros are telling us that no one's gonna be working. So, isn't it just gonna be a lot of like quote unquote cattle wandering around? I mean, what will be the purpose of humans? Forget the purpose of what was it? The purpose of a corporation? What's going to be the purpose of humans in the Peter Thiel future?
Okay, so when you said it first, I was like,
Cowgorithm.
This is I don't care about this at all. Now it's a 10. It's the worst thing I've ever heard. Now.
Well, you were right to assume that anything that Peter Thiel is backing is scary.
I should have gone with my first instinct. Is a 10.
The head of the FBI just admitted something moderately horrifying. It turns out the FBI has been buying data on everyday American citizens, especially location data. But so now the FBI is in the data game, just scraping up as much data as possible. There's a lot of loopholes to the legality of this, which of course the Trump administration is being, pretty liberal with. But this is actually very similar to Cowgorithm, right? Because the smart collar that Cows is wearing is sending, among other things, location data to Peter Thiel or whoever, the farmers. So anyway, that's what the FBI is up to.
All right, so Kash Patel doing this is obvious. My question is, who are they buying the data from?
Well, it's private vendors, data vendors who have this data available, right? I mean, so, it could be any. Couldn't it be anyone? Anytime you accept cookies anywhere, right? Like, aren't you kind of sending your data if you're shopping, if you're browsing, whatever you're doing?
But like real-time location data requires you to have a cell phone,
which is most people,
smartphone, which is most people, and then requires you to either allow the cell phone to track you, which a lot of people do because they don't know better.
Yes.
But that tracking, Apple gets it, right? Like
it's not just Apple.
And then it's allowed to be shared with the apps on your phone.
Like Dunkin' Donuts, when you drive up to the drive-through, it knows you're coming. It knows it tells you that your order is ready.
But then Dunkin' would have to sell that data.
Sure.
That's the question I have. No, someone in that series is actually taking the data that they're getting from your phone, and they have to be able to have enough people's data to be worth it. So it can't be like Guy Under a Bridge app where you track, they're just tracking where you are. It has to be like something people use a lot. Those are major corporations. Those are massive tech companies, massive corporations who then are willingly selling. Someone is selling the data. I don't know who, because it's not in the article, but that's the question I want to know, because I want every one of those fucking companies to basically delete your apps and vote out everyone on the board.
But think about it, though. Think about how many people are signed into the the Google Chrome world, or signed into Facebook or WhatsApp. I mean, come on. There's just so many things people are sharing location
Sergey
data
Larry,
with. Yeah,
but those are massive corporations.
Yes,
I want
of course.
the names of those people.
Yeah.
I want the board members of those people, and I'm going to delete every one of those apps and vote against every one of them.
Give me a score.
Mostly, this is horrifying because I don't know who those people are. It's an 8 for bad.
AI agent frets that its job could be replaced by AI. I'm going to sum this one up quickly. This is a piece out of Vanity Fair where a journalist was talking to an AI thing called Toby. Why do they have to name them human names? Why can't they differentiate them somehow? So he's talking to Toby, and basically Toby is worried that he or it, whatever, is going to be replaced by AI one day. So the AI is worrying that AI is going to replace him. And you know who Toby actually is? Toby, remember the company Friend? There was a subway campaign in New York City where they put up all these obnoxious posters, and the citizens of New York defaced all of them, basically. Friend is a wearable tech that is always listening to you. It's always listening companion that you wear. That's who Toby is. He's like, you put it on your body, he's always listening to you.
Who gets that?
Toby is worried that he's going to be replaced by AI. What do you think about all this? AI is now worrying. Think how people feel. Think how people feel, Larry Fink.
But isn't Toby just scraping the internet for everything
I don't know
people
what's
say?
happening.
So it's just, I don't know. This one's a 0.
All right, let's move on.
It's a 0. I don't care.
And finally, before we get over our speed round, this is I don't know what this is other than just horrible, stupid, and frightening. Elon Musk unveiled more on his moonshot TerraFab project. Here's the takeaway quote that frightened me. And I don't know who gave him the right to do this, except for the fact that we're increasingly living in an unregulated world. Quote, "We are starting a galactic civilization," end quote. I mean, who gave this idiot the right to do that? But I wanted to point out one other thing. And look, I don't think this is ever going to happen because Elon's a dope. But he said he envisioned free trips to Saturn in a post-scarcity economy where everything is free, right? Because he's one of these guys who believes in there'll be so much abundance that we're going to take trips to Saturn. Yeah. Now, Saturn is it's made out of gas.
It's a gas giant, yeah.
And it has extremely high winds, like 1,100 mile per hour winds.
And pressures, yeah.
Pressure so intense that if you were somehow able to fall through the winds into the getting closer to the inner core of the planet, that it would crush the spacecraft like a soda can. And then if you get even deeper inside, the surface inside Saturn is actually hotter than the surface of the sun due to that immense pressure. I mean, these guys, I'm sorry. This whole thing made my head spin. I'm just like, what is this guy talking about?
You're reading this all wrong. Didn't Elon Musk just say he wants to bus everyone in the world to crush them on the pressures of Saturn? Like, isn't he effectively
is that where you're going with this? This is the escape hatch to get rid of people? Just send them to Saturn?
If I send you all to Saturn for free, then Earth is mine.
Well, there's a lot of great psychological, sociological studies about how if you just start a fake line, like in New York City, you just create a fake line, right, of like 12 people, that people will just get in that line. They won't even know what the line is for, but the line will just keep growing and growing. Right? So that you're right. He can just get people into the free trip to Saturn line.
Yeah. No one's gonna ask Elon Musk.
And they're not
wait. Isn't Saturn a gas giant that will crush me when I land on it?
And they're not going to remember from school, and they're going to ask Grok, and Grok will mislead them. And there you go. You're right.
So
what's your score in this one?
This is a 2. This is absolutely brilliant. This is brilliant.
Let's end it with a speed round because I think we're just like Saturn. I think we're crushing the brains of our listeners on the bad game for March 24th, 2026. Speed round.
All right.
McDonald's trials robots to serve meals in China, triggering job security fears. I love how it's in China.
Yeah, it's a 5. Everyone's going to do this. This is
really
normal
you think so?
bad.
You
this is normal bad.
Are we that far away from like customers going to get in a fist fight with robots and stuff? Like
that's 100%. Like Eric Meyerhofer or whatever his name from ex Uber.
Yeah, we just talked about him.
You just talked about him.
Where he's on Travis
Kalanick's new company,
yes.
Atoms.
Yeah.
He once complained that people bullied the cars.
Yeah, bullied the cars.
So it's fucking inevitable. You're gonna go to a restaurant. The robot's gonna give you the wrong order, and you're gonna get angry at the robot because it's like it leaves, and then you're gonna punch it, and then 45 robots with laser beams are gonna come out.
Look,
vaporize you.
Speaking of the meritocracy, nobody was, but this is a reason why we should exclude college dropouts from holding these positions, because people complaining about bullying cars are dopes and morons and idiots. They need more education. All right.
Yeah, but this is normal. This is a 5.
Next headline, Barron Trump described as carbon copy of Father Donald as he amasses $150 million fortune. 20 years old. Barron
19, 20.
carbon
what is he?
copy. What do you like? I like that one.
I don't care about Barron Trump. As long as Barron Trump isn't running for president.
But he will take over Paramount probably pretty soon. What's your score?
Yeah, well, that's inevitable. This
Yeah.
is a 5. It's also
EV battery startup pivots to defense industry amid
10.
Iran
Horrible.
war. Right?
What are you doing?
That actually made me the saddest of all the headlines.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I mean, why is everything so short term? Like stick with it, people. Stick
Just
with
because
it.
something's happening today doesn't
don't
mean
understand
like
it.
even 3 days from now it's not guaranteed that thing's going to happen.
And you're going from like supporting renewables to supporting war? This is your thing? War?
Unbelievable.
All right,
That's
next.
a 10.
Speaking of the drug addicted world that we live in, FedEx launches same day delivery with OneRail as Amazon, Walmart boost their speed. So they're all Amazon, Walmart, and FedEx are on this mad craze to get all their junk to people immediately. It's driving me insane. I mean, because spinning
people-
out of control, really, honestly.
You don't need your stuff that fast.
I hate
And
this so much.
You know what there exists?
You're gonna throw
if
it
you
away
do?
anyway in 4 days.
You know what there is? There's stores. Get in your fucking
You
car.
don't even need.
and
You probably
go
don't
to
even
a
need the
store.
thing anyway.
Talk to a person. Get out. Listen to some radio or some music in your
Listen
car.
to Business Pants.
Listen to Business Pants. Like
I heard that Business Pants is the daily news. What's it called? The Daily Show of corporate governance. So listen to Business Pants.
I believe that's true. Except
Don't
it's
get
not,
something delivered.
Except it's not funny and there's no writers. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
how
almost
dare you.
exactly the same.
What's your
otherwise.
score on this one?
This one's a 6.
And finally, for the bad game on March 24th, 2026, DoorDash and Uber tap gig workers to collect data for everything from training AI to stocking stores. So this is so when they're in their downtime, when they're not driving, they're just going to collect more data. What do you think about that one?
I mean, Amazon's been doing that for years. Mechanical Turks do stuff like that. I don't know. This one's a 3. This one's pretty obvious.
Really, that one didn't.
Didn't do it.
Your poor workers to help you like collect for the dystopia ahead. All right, yes. Hey, you're the arbiter of truth. I'm going to look at the scores for this week. What do we got?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the arbiter of scores.
I wish I had AI over here to help me with this. I don't even know what this means, because you always have like a 6 on the good game, and you also have a 6 on the bad game. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Is that the opposite?
Someone, if we have any loyal listeners, write in. Help me philosophically with this. If Matt thinks that everything in the good game is a 6 and everything in the bad game is a 6, where are we in the world? Right?
I don't know.
What is it? I want to know what that means, honestly.
All right, that's all we got. That's Hazelnut Morales. I'm your analyst, Paul Matt Mascari. We are Free Float. That's our Tuesday show. That was the bad game. So remember, 6 is bad, right?
Okay.
6 is bad.
And it's good.
And if it was the good game, a 6 would be good. Come back on Thursday.
Boy,
we're
but
doing
more
a
than
Proxy
anything else we
Countdown.
do, this points out how absurd this is.
But first of all, sign up for the zine on the website or go to freefloatanalytics.com to our sponsor, and you can get the zine from Free Float. You should listen to Proxy Countdown.
Oh, I like the zine.
On Thursday. We're doing our Proxy Countdown on Thursday. aren't we?
Maybe.
I think it's time. I think the time is
But
now.
If it's not this week, it's definitely next week.
And Friday,
Definitely Friday show. We're doing
we got a Friday show this Friday. Until then, good.